caught coming up.
Temperatures are dropping as snow and rainfall hit New Mexico. Find out more in my first weather forecast.
A New Mexico poll worker was fired ahead of Election Day. Find out about all these stories and more right now.
This is News 3 New Mexico, your local source for news, sports, and first weather.
Welcome to News 3 New Mexico. I'm Thomas Mariscal.
And I'm Emmanuel Vera. Thank you so much for watching.
A federal trial against the man accused of killing a New Mexico State police officer near Tucumcari back in March has been delayed yet again. Jeremy Smith is now scheduled to go to trial for murder in September of 2025. He was captured days after the shooting in Albuquerque. Investigators say New Mexico State police officer Justin Hare stopped to help Smith after finding him broken down on I-40 west of Tucumcari. Smith responded by opening fire, killing Hare. If convicted, Smith is looking at a life sentence.
The New Mexico Department of Health is raising the alarm following an increase of syphilis in the state. Health leaders say the increases in New Mexico have been dramatic in the past year. Now the state is renewing a public health order that's been in place since 2020. The order directs medical professionals to do more testing of people between 18 and 50 for the disease, as well as more testing of pregnant women. The public health order will last for 1 year.
We have an update on the Blue Front fire as it has now reached 90% containment. Efforts to help the fight the fire have been drastically impacted as winter weather has started to come in and affect the efforts to stop the blaze. With 6 to 9 inches of snow over the fire area. However, this weather also means there's no chances to grow any further in the area, meaning the blaze hasn't impacted any greater areas than what it already has.
Are you wildfire ready? Well, if not, Eastern New Mexico University's Ruidoso campus is asking the community to join wildland fire experts for a free informative session regarding wildland fire preparedness. This is to educate and empower local communities about all aspects of wildland fire and learn the lingo of wildland fire terminology. The session is held from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Tuesday, November 12th at the ENMU Ruidoso campus, and they hope to see you there.
In response to overwhelming community interest, the New Mexico Environment Department and the New Mexico Department of Health are offering an additional 250 blood tests for PFAS exposure. The extended period of testing will run from November 14th through the 20th by appointment only. Testing is available to adult New Mexican residents who currently or previously lived or worked near Cannon Air Force Base, where the PFAS from military firefighting foams have polluted the water. To schedule an appointment, you can call 575-575-7327.
So I'm sure we've all felt the drastic temperatures, the changes in temperatures. Edwin, can you tell me a little bit more about these changes?
So this past week, the temperatures were averaging throughout the 60s and 70s, but as the week progresses, we are expecting temperatures to continue to go down. And just talking about the temperatures, here in the state of New Mexico, up north, Farmington, basically all of the north has been pretty cold, getting in those freezing temperatures. Here in Portales, we have a 43. These are temperatures that we have. We haven't had temperatures this low in months, so it is starting to get really cold. And these past 2 days, we have experienced quite a bit of precipitation. It wasn't heavy rainfall, but it was sprinkling quite a bit, so we got just a little over 1.2 inches of rain. That is all the weather I have for you folks at this moment. I'll have more later this evening on my full weather forecast. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Edwin. New Mexico residents who have served in the armed forces can visit any New Mexico museums and historic sites free of charge this Veterans Day weekend. Current or past armed service will be admitted free to each of 16 museums and historic sites on Veterans Day weekend, Saturday, November 9th, Sunday, November 10th, and Monday, November 11th. This includes spouses and children. The museums and historic sites include the Bosque Redondo Memorial in Fort Sumner, Fort Stanton and Fort Stanton, the Lincoln Historic Site in Lincoln, New Mexico, and the Museum of Space History in Alamogordo.
A temporary election worker in New Mexico was fired after nefarious social media posts were uncovered.
As Jason McNabb reports, the county clerk says the county doesn't take chances when it comes to voter privacy on Election Day.
This is an individual who applied to work with a very specific scope of work and training, and identified their intentions to do something beyond that. And so that in itself qualified this person or disqualified them to work or qualified them for dismissal.
The clerk's office says Alfred Cabrales, a temporary election clerk hired a couple months ago, made posts on a website linked to extremism. In the posts, he allegedly inquired about obtaining discrete recording equipment, which he would then use to secretly record voters at a polling location in Doñana County. According to the county clerk, he was set to work in northern rural Doñana County.
The problem with this individual was it came from such an extreme view, and the assumptions were that we were doing something wrong, and they could potentially be violating voter privacy and the secrecy of the ballot, which is sacrosanct. If somebody's recording and we don't know this, we don't know what they're recording, how they're recording it, additionally, what context they'll put in it.
Lopez Askin says he violated training, which is something the county takes seriously.
Our election officials are trained not to basically violate anybody's privacy or secrecy, and in fact, we do whatever we can to protect it at all times.
The social media platform where the content was allegedly posted is a website called Patriots Win, which is a forum style dedicated to President-elect Donald Trump. The Roosevelt County Fairgrounds is hosting a holiday bazaar tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Baked goods, crafts, crochet, clothing, live performances, and so much more are going to be taking place at this event. So be sure to take advantage of this bazaar to add a little festive cheer as we get closer to the winter season.
Lee County is looking for input on their new Lee County Fairgrounds Master Plan. The plan is designed to be a quality year-round multi-purpose facility for the community. The plans include multiple parking lots, barns for animals like horses, an arena for performances, and several other buildings for the community to use in future events. If you are interested in having your voice heard on any additions or changes to this plan that you feel can help grow the fairgrounds, or for the better, you can visit Lee County Fairgrounds Masterplan.com.
The Clovis Police Department's Dollars for Donuts event has been rescheduled from November 14th to November 14th at 6:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. Officers will be taking donations at Daylight Donuts to help benefit the annual Cops and Kids event in Clovis, helping the less fortunate children in our community during the Christmas holiday. You can also join the Clovis Police Department at Leal's Mexican Restaurant on November 19th from 6 to 9 p.m., where law enforcement will be waiting tables for tips and donations to help benefit the event happening later this year at the Clovis Walmart.
The Carlsbad Museum is hosting a piggy bank painting session with Haley Jones tomorrow from 10:30 a.m. to noon. 12 seats are available and are open to all ages as long as children 15 and under are with an adult. Come join this wholesome activity and add a little bit of cute flair to saving your change. This is part of the cultural currency exhibit currently on display at the Carlsbad Museum and adds an interacting portion to the wonderful exhibit on display.
Coming up after the break, Edward will have his full weather report for you.
But first, here's a look at today's financial market.
Welcome back to News 3 New Mexico. I'm Edwin Mejia. For today's weather forecast, historic winter storm to bring more heavy snow through a majority of Colorado, parts of the northern New Mexico, although we did get a little bit of snowfall this morning here in Portales, parts of Oklahoma, as well as possibility of snow in the panhandle for Texas for tonight. The amount of snow that Colorado has received today is near record-breaking for the month of November. Typically, they average around 7 inches of snow, but today they are expected to get around 12 inches of snow, possibly more than that. The Denver airport has experienced a lot of delays as well as canceled flights due to the snowfall. Over 700 flights have been affected due to the snow. For the current wind speeds in the state of New Mexico, Farmington 9 miles per hour, Raton 15, Clayton 24, down south Las Cruces 3 mile per hour winds. Here in home base, Portales 14, and for our friends in Texas, Amarillo 21, Lubbock 24, and Midland at 19. Current temperatures for the state of New Mexico: up north, Farmington 38, Raton 32, Clayton 32, down south Las Cruces 52, Silver City 50. Here in home base, Portales 43. This is the coldest the state of New Mexico has been in months. For our friends in Texas, Amarillo 40, Lubbock 47, and Midland 54. For tonight's lows, up north, Farmington 26, Raton under 20 in the 18s, as well as Gallup in the 19. Clayton 28, Albuquerque 29, down south Las Cruces 33, Carlsbad 36, here in home base, Portales 35, Clovis 33, friends in Texas, Amarillo 36, Lubbock 40, and Midland at a 41. For tomorrow's highs, Farmington 50, Raton 39, Clayton 40, Albuquerque 49, here in home base, Portales at a 60. For the 7-day forecast, Saturday, Sunday for Roswell, 63, 69. As the week progresses, they will be in the 70s Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday back down to the 60s. Carlsbad, Saturday, Sunday, 70, 73. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the temperatures will start going down just a little. Wednesday, 69. Tucumcari, Saturday, 51. Sunday, 61. Monday will be cloudy with 58. Wednesday 56, Thursday 61, and it will just get a little warmer. Finally for Portales, Saturday 60, Sunday 67, Monday 66, Wednesday 60, Thursday 66, and Friday 71.
Well, thank you so much, Edwin. We'll have more news after the break.
The village of Ruidoso is hosting their last running event for the year on November 30th. The Ruidoso Turkey Trot 5K is being set up to support Lincoln County Food Bank. With a $20 registration fee, you could get free swag, including a shirt and a medal, and the proceeds get to benefit your community while you are benefiting your health by staying active even during the cold season, winter season.
The Eastern New Mexico Department of Theater and Digital Filmmaking is presenting a theater performance of the Shakespeare classic Romeo and Juliet. The classic love story of two doomed lovers has been performed on stages worldwide for over 400 years and adapted numerous times for film, musical, and opera venues. The performances will take place from Thursday, November 14th through Saturday, November 16th, with shows taking place at 7 p.m., with a special Manatee performance at 2 p.m. on Sunday, November 17th. General admission tickets are $10, while senior citizens and active duty military tickets are only $7. If you want to purchase your tickets in advance, you can do so at enmu.edu/livetheater. For the first time in U.S. history, a woman is set to be the White House Chief of Staff. President-elect Donald Trump says he's given his campaign manager the powerful position.
Amy Kiley reports she has decades of political experience and appears well respected in the GOP.
This signals that the second coming of Trump presidency is going to be very different.
President-elect Donald Trump says he's naming his 2024 campaign manager Susie Wiles as his White House Chief of Staff. The decision is historic.
She's the first female chief of staff, which when I heard that today, I was like, wow, like that has never happened before.
Wiles is a seasoned Republican strategist and lobbyist. She's also one of Trump's longest-serving advisors.
Susie likes to stay in the background. She's not in the background.
Trump credits Wiles with helping him win re-election. He says as chief of staff, she'll make the country proud.
Chief of staff is very effective if the feeling around Washington is that chief of staff has the confidence of the president. And the fact that they've developed this close relationship, very important.
A source says Wiles had conditions for accepting the second highest job in the West Wing. The person says she wants to control access to the president to prevent unofficial advisors from swaying him.
This is really setting the tone for the entire administration because it is clear that she is someone who is taken seriously in Republican circles, particularly not just the MAGA side of things, but also the establishment side.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
With this election, a lot of changes are going to happen, as with every change of administration, and sitting President Joe Biden addressed the nation, promising an orderly transfer of power coming in January.
As the nation moves forward with the new presidency, we will all be in this together, and we will want to remind everyone, regardless of how you voted, to stand united as a country, but also as a community. Lung cancer has long been a killer in New Mexico, the United States, and all over the world, and people often underestimate the toll it takes on human lives. November is Lung Cancer Awareness Month and is a time to reflect on the impact of the disease and the resources available to screen and treat it. 80% of lung cancer deaths are caused by nicotine use, including smoking and vaping, and is the leading risk factor. 20% of people who have never used nicotine also die of lung cancer. To help you remember the symptoms of NMDOH wants to remind you to breathe if you have blood when you cough or spit, recurring respiratory infections, enduring cough that is new or different, aches or pains in the shoulder, back, or chest, trouble breathing, hoarseness or wheezing, exhaustion, weakness, or loss of appetite. You should screen to see if you have lung cancer to protect your health before it's too late. Coming up after the break, Lorenzo will have his full sports report for you, so stay tuned.
Welcome back to News 3 New Mexico. I'm Lorenzo Solis. Let's take a dive into the sports world. Kicking off with the Eastern Athletics, both men and women's soccer lost their games this week. Men's soccer losing to Lubbock Christian in a game ending with the score of 1-3, making another loss for the Hounds, and unfortunately the women's soccer team didn't have much luck either, losing to DBU with a final score of 0-4. Both of these teams have now wrapped up their season, and we have to look forward to what they have coming next fall. Women's basketball has begun their season today with a regional crossover at New Mexico Highlands and taking home the first game with a pretty strong win, scoring 74-63 against the Cowboys, with Julieta Ceja scoring the most points for the game with 15 points and having 3 assists over the course of the game. This is an exciting start for the Hounds as they prepare to try and take home the Lone Star Conference Championship this year. Men's basketball for ENMU also kicks off tonight as they face off against Fort Lewis in the Durango, Colorado, where they face off against the Skyhawks for their regional crossover matchup before going against New Mexico Highlands tomorrow at 4 p.m. The men's basketball team has a brand new coach this year and is coming off their Lone Star Championship victory from last year, so it'll be more exciting to see how they fare in the 2024-2025 season. We wish both these teams an incredible season of Greyhound athletics, and we intend to keep track of the scores and standings for you at home all season long. Go Greyhounds! Looking at the standing for the NBA, the Cavaliers are currently dominating with the Eastern Conference with a 9-0 record, winning games against the teams like the Lakers, the Magic, and last Saturday barely taking out the Bucks with a score of 114-113. The Bucks were really striving for that win, as it would have been their third win this season, taking home six losses so far in the conference, and winning against the current leading team would have been a huge boost to their standings. Over in the Western Conference, the Phoenix Suns, the Oklahoma City Thunder, and the Golden State Warriors are all leading the conference with 7 wins and 1 loss each, making for a competitive conference tonight. The Suns take on the Mavericks, the Thunder takes on the Rockets, and Warriors stack up against so previously mentioned undefeated Cavaliers. So tonight we're going to have some really intense games coming for you for the NBA. Touching down into the NFL, an exciting game happened last night between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. With the touchdown passing back and forth between heading into the fourth quarter, the score was a close 21-14. The Ravens ended up matching 2 touchdowns in a row thanks to Tyan Wallace and Mark Andrews, so the Bengals got put on the defensive. The Bengals had a chance to tie up with the game with less than a minute left, and the scores being 34-35. However, instead of tying for overtime, Joe Burrow attempted a pass to get a 2-point conversion to Jamar Chase to clinch the win. Unfortunately, Chase failed to receive the ball, leaving the Bengals scored over the tight loss against the Ravens. That's all the sports I have for you right now. We'll be right back at the desk after the break.
Welcome back. Edwin, can we get one last look at the weather?
Yeah, so for Carlsbad on Friday, today 57, and these next couple of days, the temperatures will be rising. Saturday 68 and Sunday 72. Santa Rosa, Friday 39, Saturday very windy with a temperature of 46, and Sunday 56. For Roswell, Friday 51, Saturday 61, and Sunday 67. And finally for Portales, today Friday 57, Saturday, tomorrow if you are planning on attending the game, it's going to be 68 for the temperature, so just be prepared for that, dress for the weather. And Sunday it's going to be at 72.
Well, I love the cold, but I'm also glad to see the weather come a little bit back up. Well, that is all the news we have for you right now.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see y'all next time. Have a good night.